Hello everyone, I am Faith from faithsbizacademy.com and this is part of my video series Ask Faith. So what happens is I invite the members of my email subscriber community to actually send me questions via email to basically ask me anything about running an online business, and if the answer actually requires a little bit more time in terms of explaining, I will record this video in response to that question. So today, the big question is the planner market saturated? Well, if you're not familiar with me, I actually create and sell PLR products. PLR stands for private label rights products. So these are mainly printables in Canva templates or PowerPoint files. I sell you the templates. The planners have already been, nicely done up, ready for sale. So what you can do is you can take the templates, you can edit them, you can customize them, you can rebrand them, and then sell it as your own to your customers for their personal use. So why am I doing that? Because there is a demand for printables, and you can literally sell printables for almost any niche, right? You've got recipes, you've got digital planners, you've got printable planners and journals, you've got camping planners, whether it's for kids, even like coloring pages. There's so many different types of printables that you can sell, and planners are a huge part of this printables market, right? So I've got this question to say that is the planner market actually saturated? So this is the detailed question that I received. This lady says that, well, she has seen so many Etsy sellers having a hard time selling planners, or that she's been hearing people say that the planner market is saturated. So she's asking me for my opinions. Am I one that recommends a narrow niche? And do I have tips on how to differentiate yourself from other planner and template sellers? Now, I like to in order to answer this, I would like for you to see it as, is the clothes market saturated, right? Are people buying clothes? Are there too many clothes boutiques all over the place that, that people have stopped starting new clothing businesses? Well, of course, there are clothing businesses who have closed down over the years, but I also see new clothing businesses, start up regularly, right? So whether it's on the retail front, in the brick and mortar stores, or on digital platforms where people source for clothes from overseas, for example, and then after that they get delivered back to wherever they are located, and then they sell the clothes online, and then they just deliver them without even having an actual shop front. And that is also possible, and people are still making money. People are still running a sustainable business selling clothes. And yet there are so many different types of clothes boutiques around, right? We've got the really branded high-end ones. We've got we've got the ones that have mass appeal because of their pocket-friendly prices. They're affordable, something that you can buy and buy again to stock up on your closet for different seasons, right? So why am I talking about clothes? Because there are so many shops selling clothes, and people buy them. People use them, and people don't necessarily buy clothes just because they have worn through like a hole in the shirt, for example. Many of us shop for clothes because of seasons, because of occasions, because as a treat for ourselves, right? Because we like it, because we want to be fashionable. So I liken it to the planner market. There are many, many people selling planners. There are also many, many people using planners, and not everyone finishes one planner before they move on to another one, because we change our preferences or habits according to the seasons as well. And you can have a planner for Christmas, you can have a planner for summer, you can have a planner for winter, goal planner, budget planner, meal planner, business planner, self-care planner. There are so many types of planners, different categories, different designs even. So I would say that no, it is not saturated. And yes, there are many people selling, but there are also many people buying. And you can even if you're brand new, there is still space for you. I truly believe that the pie is big enough for us, to have a share of it, as long as you're interested in creating and selling them, right? Because you also have to think about those who have been selling planners for years. But you see, businesses die off might not necessarily because they do not make money anymore, might be because they have other plans, they lose interest, right? So there will always be businesses who close down, who drop out of the scene, new businesses coming up. So no, the planner market, in my humble opinion, is not saturated. And please, please, if you enjoy creating, if you want to make money on Etsy, if you want to create printable planners or any types of printables to add to your online website to sell, please do consider it, because it is very low cost. It is very easy to create. You can get templates to use so that it speeds up your creation process and people buy it. Okay, so I don't think that should be the reason that holds you back on starting your Etsy store or any other online website in order to sell planners, just because you think there are already many people doing it. Now, do I recommend a narrow niche? I think at the end of the day, you should always think about who your target audience is, right? It should start with the target audience. Of course, you can be somebody who sells all sorts of planners. Any planner, just come to me, whether it's Christmas, summer, whatever that I mentioned just now, right? Then maybe if you want to sell all sorts of different types of planner, then your niche should be in terms of design. For example, I love watercolor florals. So maybe all the planners that I create all have watercolor design. So that is actually my unique style. That is my niche. So even though I have planners for kids, for moms, for dads, for uncles and aunts, all sorts of plans for different seasons, my overall style and niche and branding is because that all my designs have watercolor florals. That could be my niche. Or you could just narrow down such that you only want to create planners for kids. So you're creating planners for preschoolers, planners for elementary students, or you're creating planners for older kids in high school. So you can do that as well. Or you're just creating planners for moms. So you're thinking about all the different aspects of mom's life, right? Like planning the family schedule, planning the family budget, the family meals, family holidays, all things related to moms. So that is also possible. So I would say when it comes to search engine optimization, whether you're writing a blog post to promote your product, or creating pins to promote your product, or setting up an Etsy store to sell your products, you can ultimately have a whole wide range of product, but work in such a way that is systematic. So for example, if you are, like you said, like I was saying, like let's say it's a mom niche, right? Your target audience is moms and you just want to create planners for moms. Then maybe you want to create like budget planners. And then if that's the first thing that you create, what would be a relevant planner that somebody else would get from the budget planner? Maybe it would be a meal planner. And then maybe after the meal planner, because Christmas is coming, I'm going to create a Christmas planner. My advice is that when you start creating your products, create it in such a way that the next product can be related to the first one as much as possible. Why? Because you want to be able to upsell them, because you want to be able to have the opportunity to bundle your products together, because you want to be able to have a natural progression, like recommend, since you like this, you should probably also like this because it's related, right? Because this is a budget planner, now this is a meal planner, and now Christmas is coming, you want to have plan for Christmas, something like that, right? So you can work accordingly in a systematic manner as much as possible as you create your products and you grow your the variety and the collection that you have in your store. Okay, so as compared to, let's say, somebody else who wants to create everything, and then I throw in a coloring page for kids, and the next thing I know, I have like a budget planner for or a finance planner for a small business owner. So the finance planner for the small business owner versus the coloring page for kids, they're very, very different target audience. If I just dump these two products in the same shop, I think that will be very messy. It does not necessarily mean that you will not get any sales at all. It just means that it looks messy. If somebody gets the coloring page, and they want to look for more stuff, they will not be able to find more stuff because the next thing they see is the small business planner, which is totally, unrelated. So work in such a way that you create products that are as related to each other as possible, so that you kind of build the category of your products in your store. There's more related products you can recommend to your customers, as well as more related products that you can bundle up together for a sale. Okay, so now tips on how to differentiate myself from other planners and template sellers. There are different ways. It can be in terms of design, it can be in terms of how you market your products. Maybe I focus on using Pinterest to drive traffic, whereas somebody uses TikTok to drive traffic. So even the way you drive traffic is a different way to source for new clients, to reach out to your audiences, right? So even these are methods of differentiation. And of course, my personality would be different from somebody else's, even though somebody else is also selling PLR templates, right? So my designs would also be the same. So like I mentioned, perhaps I love watercolor florals better, but then somebody else likes minimalist design. So based on our own individual preferences, the products we create will ultimately be different. So that will be how we differentiate ourselves, and then try to diversify, after that, it will be about building connections with your audience, like through email marketing. How do you actually approach your audience and build the relationship? And that will be, once again, down to differences in personality. Okay, so don't think too hard and don't worry too much. You should just dive in, and there's always opportunities and room for you to make changes and adapt along the way. But at the end of the day, just get started, just try something and put something out there, because the only way to start making money is that you have something listed for sale. Okay, so please do not think that the market is too saturated. I think there is definitely enough space for everybody, to whoever is interested, to list your products up for sale. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to reach me at faith@faithbizacademy.com, or join my private Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/creating printables with Faith. And before you leave, please like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, you can also ask in the comment section, and you can just fish out your mobile phone, scan the QR code to get 20 digital product kickstart Canva templates for free. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you around.